This is your station, the People's Internet Station. We are one nation under urban music. iPower One, New York City. Your home for the iPower Evening Show. Speak it loud. 360. Join the conversation now on the iPower Evening Show.
iPower Evening Show.
Good evening, everyone. DeMarco, Ricky, and Raphael in the building. This is Speak It Loud Tuesday on the IPES. As y'all know, we are a New York radio station here at iPower 1 FM, but at the same time, we're still here broadcasting out of Boston. Now, I know some people are going to ask, why y'all a New York radio station broadcasting out of Boston when you still can represent your city here? Well, number one, I can make that argument that the TV show Judge Judy, broadcasting from Los Angeles, but they set up their courtroom as a New York courtroom. And besides, the 4-hour radio show of the iPower Evening Show is not a local Boston radio station.
No, it's not.
It's a nationwide radio show since 2009, reaching out to almost every city across the country. That was our goal ever since, and we stuck to that plan as a national radio show. And we said we ain't switching back to being a local in Boston.
Nope.
Because the internet show was getting bigger at that time. Now, some in Boston may disagree with that decision, but others did agree with the radio show becoming a national back in 2009. Ever since Michael Jackson passed away on Thursday, June 25th, 2009, that changed everything, and the rest was history. Now, is the relocation necessary for us here at the station at this point? Absolutely.
Bruh, you ain't never lied. As for Michael Jackson, we got a lot of emails at that time when Jackson passed away.
Yes.
We even stayed on the air after our regular broadcasting talking about Michael Jackson, who we all grew up on his music, who are big fans of the King of Pop.
Right.
And recently we talked about Khalif Browder 4 days straight on the show about the injustice that has been done to him and other people of color by the NYPD and Rikers Island.
Right.
Now, for me, I most definitely would relocate based on whatever talent God gave me to use.
Yeah, right.
Knowing the resources for me is purposely unavailable for you and I in Boston as persons of color. For the exception of the Caucasian talent, where they have all the access of those marketing resources that the black and brown will never have in Boston.
Hell no.
Now, iPower One was a Boston radio station for 10 years.
Sure was.
Even though we talked about turning the station into an NYC station off the air for years, but the time wasn't right.
Right.
Well, the time is right now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sometimes you have to relocate to do what's best for you and your goals.
Right.
If you know that Boston does not have the resources and you wonder why your music videos as a local artist is not on BET, MTV, VH1, Fuse, or Revolt TV.
Correct.
Sometimes you got to put your foot down and be like, hey, I got to do what's best for me and my interests in order to make it.
Right.
Even if I have to relocate.
Hey,
Right.
do what you gotta do.
What is your take on this? If you're an artist, dancer, radio DJ personality, or a radio host like myself, broadcasting a national show, and others here at this radio station, or whomever, would you relocate to another city to gain that marketing resource that could help you launch your talented career? It's SIL 360. Let's go to the phone lines.
Express your mind.
Before we do that, with us on the phone is a brother from another mother, Professor Jeff from Cambridge, Massachusetts. He's going to be with us during this segment. Professor Jeff, are you there, brother?
Yes, I'm here.
Brother Jeff, welcome.
Greetings and blessings to you, my brothers. May Almighty God bless you with the talent that y'all have, and may He bless you for the chances, for opportunities with this radio station now in New York City.
Thank you, Jeff. We're still broadcasting from Boston, Massachusetts, even though it's now a New York radio station. And thus far, we're picking up some listening audience in the tri-state area. It's going to take a full 6 to 8 month transition for us to move into the NYC, around the tri-state area. So we are making progress for better opportunities that Boston, unfortunately, does not have when it comes to major marketing resources to push our local talent who live in the black and brown communities, even though we are a national radio show.
Well, you see, brothers, things don't happen overnight, okay?
Right.
Things don't happen overnight. These things take time.
That's right.
A transitional move takes time, okay?
That's right.
Now, turning this radio station into a New York City radio station is a start. That doesn't mean you're done with Boston.
No, we are not.
Nope.
That doesn't mean you sold out to black folk and act like I'm going to work for Fox News New York.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Now, unlike some black folk in Boston, y'all brothers are not the only ones that came out of your comfort zone, but y'all thought outside the box, okay?
Absolutely.
Y'all waking up to realize and smelling that fresh coffee, okay?
Right.
Now, you say you got 40% of listeners in Boston that are loyal to this radio station, right?
Yep,
Yes.
40%.
Yes.
The reason why you got 40% instead of 85%, same thing for having 3,000 or 4,000 listeners nationwide instead of 4 million. Not because they think you don't have the talent. That's because the Boston white establishment was never set up for black folks to be superstars.
Wow.
That ain't no surprise.
So if you black or Hispanic from Boston, anywhere in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I don't care how hard you work, how long you've been busting your black behind to get to where you need to be. But as long as the city of Boston and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts is controlled by the white Irish establishment, the establishment that controls the corporate buildings, downtown crossing, on Newberry Street, the financial district, talent agencies, radio stations.
Oh, you ain't never lied.
Why you think iHeartRadio and other corporate radio stations play the same music over and over?
Exactly.
Right?
Because they want to dumb down black folk with mumble rap music and focus on giving the white folks what they want to hear on urban hip-hop radio stations. Then the truthful message that would not suit the white establishment.
Wow.
You hear me?
Oh, we hear you, bruh.
Rashawn, you're next on iPower 1 FM. You're on the air with Professor Jeff. Go ahead, Rashawn.
Hey, what up, Tamako? What up, Ricky? What up, Rocky?
Hey, Rashawn, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on there, bruh?
What up, Rayshawn?
Greetings, Brother Jeff. I finally get to speak to you on this topic about some of our black people in Boston that are relocating to different cities like New York, Atlanta, Los Angeles, that are major capitals for opportunities to make it into show business. Now, I was born in Roxbury. I currently live in Brockton, South Boston, in Massachusetts. Now, I love Boston. That's my city. That's the city where I'm from. And I'm sure you love Boston as well, my brother, even though you reside in Cambridge, Massachusetts, over the river. Now, we all know that Boston is a racist city. Now, just because what happened in the past with the bus boycott in South Boston, which in my opinion, parts of Southie is still racist. Colin Flaherty and Danny Donovan from South Boston that text into the show with their racist rhetoric towards black people, along with that racist cracker Mike, who I dealt with on the phone on this program, is a perfect example.
Right.
I've been know about the white establishment, had no interest for our black local artists or even talent for that matter, whether you talk about Roxbury, Dorchester, or Mattapan, compared to the white establishment, who some will work with our black talents, but at the same time, want a huge percentage of the money black folks work so hard to get by being in the recording studio all day, touring across the country, paying all these transportation and hotel costs across the board, and flight costs overseas to perform in these countries. When some of our people who are artists, dancers, coming from our local communities that get this money by the white establishment, for an example, $5 million. All that costs spending time in the recording booth, on road tours, hotel stays, flight costs. It's not coming out of the record label's pocket, but it's coming out of your pocket that the same label company is offering you. So by the time you've done used up that $5 million, after being on the road, going from city to city across the country, you got to pay transportation costs, like I said, hotel costs, flight costs, concert costs to use their stage.
Right.
You'll be left with at least $500,000
Unbelievable.
out of that $5 million that he was given to by the white establishment on the table. And to put on top of that, the white establishment takes their own share as well.
That's
it's
insane.
like give and take.
And that explains why some of our black artists that are getting this opportunity starts to invest, put that money they earned from their performance into a stock market to grow that interest.
Right.
My question is, can black people who has the talent outsmart the white establishment and still make millions?
Yes, you can. Now, in my opinion, there ain't nothing wrong with working with white folks or Jewish folks that own these radio stations and record companies.
Right.
But not to continue to work for them for a long period of time where the white man is not only making more money than you, but you, a brother, got so used to working for the white man for that long, they can now take advantage of you, take out money from your earnings, and terminate you anytime they you want.
That's
you hear me?
right.
You ain't lying.
That's why I say once I got what I need, I don't need the white establishment no more.
Right.
Right.
You now a black entrepreneur that outsmarted your enemy.
Wow.
You hear me?
Yes.
What did James Brown said? I don't need nobody to give me nothing. Just open up the door and I'll get it myself.
He did say that,
You
bro.
hear me?
Oh, I hear you.
We'll get to Stacy on line 3 in a minute. Rayshawn, in your opinion, can anyone who was born or grew up in Boston, Mass. all their lives, they don't have to have a city relationship with you. Just like how Black Boston doesn't have to have a community relationship with you or I that are from the community, which explains why the love is not here for some people here in the Bean, resulting in some, or even some black people, like myself and others, to move on.
That's been going on for years, my brother. Not everybody who was born and raised in the Bean does not have a city relationship, nor even for some African Americans who never had a relationship with the black communities in Boston.
Right.
This ain't nothing new.
No, it isn't.
I've witnessed throughout the years, black folks leaving this city to other major cities, not because of the lack of relationship within the city or the community, but they got great job opportunities that fits their needs that Boston nor Massachusetts does not have, nor will ever have, despite of GE coming to South Boston and Seaport District, you feel me?
Right.
Because of what? Lack of resources.
Of course.
And Rayshawn, my brother, let me throw something in there. You even got some black leaders and community activists that will say, for an example, you, DeMarco, were called inaccurate for not participating in the black communities in Boston, right?
Right, with all these
But
lies
hold on,
put on.
hold on.
All right.
But at
all
the
right,
same
all
time,
right.
the same Negroes who called you inaccurate that never wanted you in the first place because of what? Inferiority.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You hit the nail right on the head, Professor Jeff. Let that sink in for a minute.
Right.
Peace, my brothers.
And this explains why some Negroes be lying about you when they don't get their way.
And you wonder why we got so many haters in Boston.
And you wonder why some people left Boston throughout the years. They ain't trying to be miserable for the rest of their lives.
Of
Are you
course
kidding
not.
me?
Hell no.
Stacy J, you're next on iPower 1 FM. You're on the air with Professor Jeff. Go ahead, Stace.
Yo, Stacey J represent hip hop.
Hey, Stace, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what up there, bruh?
Stacy!
Yo, I got a question. Yo, I was born in Queens, but I grew up in Boston all my life in Dorchester, Massachusetts. You feel what I'm saying? I'm a big music junkie when it comes to hip hop and R&B, even classic soul back in the day, yo. Now, I'm not a rapper, but we got thousands of artists who are talented and always performing at these local concert venues here across Massachusetts. But at the same time, we still got no Boston representation on any of these music cable stations since the 90s and early 2000s. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
The last major artist I could think of was Guru from Gangstar.
Right.
He's been on BET, VH1, MTV, plus New Edition has been on every music cable station you could think of.
Of course.
My question is, how come none of our local artists in Roxbury, Dorchester, and Mattapan can't get on Fuse TV or Revolt TV where Diddy, who owns that station on Revolt, always looking for locals nationwide to put their music videos on cable stations?
Well, you see, Stacia J, some of our black folk think that they should not have to go to them other cities in order for artists to blow up as major superstars. But let me remind you, it is you that's looking to be discovered, be famous, and become the next artist superstar. You hear me?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, BET, VH1, MTV, Fuse, Revolt TV, them ain't the ones that's supposed to come looking for you.
No.
Hell no.
Meaning you should be going to them with your talent.
That's right.
That's it.
Because if you sitting on your black rusty dusty waiting for a corporate music cable network to come and save you out of Black Boston, keep on waiting.
Oh, you ain't never lied.
Right.
Tell that.
I mean, y'all might as well have y'all local talent on a local Boston Access channel if you're not willing to get off your asses, work hard, and try to get whatever talent you have on these marketing corporate music cable stations.
Right.
If not, you will never go nowhere undiscovered or even unheard.
Exactly.
Drop a round of applause for Boston locals currently in the NYC NYC, in the ATL, in LA, who wants to make progress, who's willing to do something to make a name for themselves.
Right.
Because we know the talent is here in Boston, but unfortunately, the resources are not.
Nope.
Unless you look like Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Donnie, or Mark Wahlberg.
I say the same thing about my peoples in Boston.
Right.
Reggaetoneros, bachateros, salseros, get off your culos. I don't care if you have to relocate, but do what you have to do.
Exactly.
Right. Robert, you're next on iPower 1 FM. Go ahead, Robert. You're on the air with Professor Jeff.
Well, man.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up there, bro?
Hey, what up, Robert?
All right. Professor Jeff, what a go on?
What's happening, brother?
First thing first. DeMarco, I'm glad you did what you did.
Thank you.
Because me always say that Boston I have no interest for black talent. Because the white establishment, them not want it.
That's
You
right.
ain't lying, bro.
And them wonder why black people in a Boston say that the city is racist. Me know that already.
Right.
Now, me not care if you are music artist, an actor, or a dancer. Boston is not a marketable place for black people, because if that was the case, we would not see black people with the talent them have go all over the place across the country.
Right.
In a New York, down in Atlanta, or in a Los Angeles.
I hear you, bro.
You know some Jamaicans right now in 3 of them cities of what me I talk about.
In your opinion, do you think black talent from Boston or anywhere across the country that does not have the resources can make it big in New York, Atlanta, or Los Angeles because the marketing resources are available?
Yeah, man. Now, me not saying that all of them are gonna make it. No,
Of
man.
course not.
But half of them are gonna make it.
Oh, of course.
You just have to work hard out there in order to make it.
That's
And
right.
you wonder why this is a New York radio station, because we are trying to make it big.
Look, I have to say this, but it's true. You cannot lie nor make this stuff up. Boston is, I love the city of Boston. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, we gotta face reality here. Boston is dead last on the totem pole when it comes to the marketable resources that we do not have.
Yes.
Like in New York, Los Angeles, or the ATL. For blacks and people of color,
Right.
with the talent in the city.
For the past 20 years.
20 years is a long time. I mean,
And
come
I'm
on.
feeling that this radio station in a New York are gonna make it now.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thanks, Robert. I appreciate that.
All right,
I
we
really
got
do think we
20
got this,
by
Ricky.
now.
Raphael, that iPower after 10 years on these airways in Boston, we'll finally see some changes coming our way, reaching out to the tri-state area. Professor Jeff, your thoughts, please.
Okay, once again, congratulations, my brothers, for making this right decision for this internet radio station. I know it was a tough decision, but something had to be done in order to make progress, okay?
Right.
Now, I know some people in Boston, especially some Negroes, will talk they mess about you that you done sold out.
Of course
But wait
they
a
are.
minute,
Oh,
wait a minute.
all right,
Hold on,
all right.
hold on. The question is, what money did y'all take in order for y'all to sell out?
Good question.
Right.
See, these haters, jealous people out there that you call haters in Boston ain't putting clothes on your back, food in your mouth, nor a roof over your head in order to please them.
Thank
you ain't never lied.
Thank
By
you.
the way, some of y'all Negroes out there ain't never wanted our power in Boston from the
Yes.
get-go. Okay?
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
Therefore,
Right?
some of y'all self-hating Negroes got what y'all wanted, meaning you, DeMarco, Ricky, Raphael, and Stefan no longer have to answer to these critics in the city of Boston.
That's
okay?
right.
Right.
Now, for the 40% of loyal Boston listeners, hang on to them, brother.
Oh, I will.
Those who supported you since day one.
Yep, that's right.
And I'm also predicting that New York City will do 10 times better for you and this radio station than here in Boston.
Thank you.
Who purposely ignored you and this radio station for the past 10 years of envy, jealousy, and self-hatred.
Preach.
Right.
May the good Lord bless you, brothers, as I greet you in peace.
Thanks, Professor
Be safe,
Jeff,
bruh.
and thank you for your support for iPower 1 Radio. We appreciate your time.
Peace,
Text your mind. All right, text your mind on SIL 360. Liz from Rochester, New York writes, I'm so glad that y'all chose New York as your new home. I know y'all transitional is going to take some time because things don't happen overnight. As far as relocating, my talented son, who's a painter, didn't have to relocate because we are in New York. Thanks, Liz from Rochester, New York. At least you don't have to go that far in the Empire State for your son to be discovered as a painter.
Incoming message.
K. Davis, 69, from Roxbury, Massachusetts, writes, absolutely. Once my grandson grandson got out of high school, I sent him to go live with his older sister in the ATL. I hope Tyler Perry sees what my grandson can do as an actor. Well, K. David 69, I hope your grandson does make it. You never know who will discover your grandson's talent.
Oh, you ain't never lied.
Dominique from Trenton, New Jersey writes, for me, I can relocate anytime to New York because we're right next door to each other. You're absolutely right, Dominique from Trenton, New Jersey.
Kevin B. from Paterson, New Jersey writes, Fetty Wap out here in Paterson had to relocate to New York in order to blow up, and the rest was history. All about that 1738. Give a round of applause to Paterson's own out in New Jersey, Fetty Wap. Antonio B. from Dorchester, Massachusetts writes, Guru from Gangstar had to relocate from Boston to the NYC because he knew the resources in the beam was not here. He was a smart brother before he died. R.I.P. Guru. You right about that, Antonio from Dorchester, Massachusetts. He did. Paula from Brooklyn, New York writes, the reason why so many upcoming rappers from New Jersey had to relocate to New York because of the resource that was available. New York, Atlanta, and Los Angeles are the capital cities for making it big in the marketing industry. You right about that, sister. You ain't never lied.
Alberto 84 from Providence, Rhode Island writes, yo, people in the bean still call Benzino a sellout because he relocated to Atlanta. LOL. They need to shut the F up.
Benzino, who's originally from Boston, did not sell out.
No.
He knew the resources were not here. That's why he relocated. I don't blame him.
Me neither.
I don't blame him.
Maria Vargas from Hartford, Connecticut writes, Daddy Yankee, who's originally from Puerto Rico, had to relocate to New York in order for him to blow up. Now he's on top of the world as a reggaeton superstar. Exacto, Maria. At least you're one of a few Puerto Ricans that get it. Rafito NYC from the Bronx, New York writes, yo, I'm originally from PR, but my dad moved me out here to the NYC. I'm taking care of my kids now as a single father, so I can always gain access to any opportunities and 10 times more likely to blow up. Hey, I'm with you on that, Rafito.
So what's the lesson of the story in all of this?
The lesson of the story is relocation could be the next best thing for you since sliced bread. If you as an artist, actor, dancer, photographer, videographer, radio DJ personality, or whomever know that the NYC, New York, ATL, Georgia, or LA, California is the marketing capital and holds the key to your future to blow up in the marketing industry, I say relocate. Don't waste your time in a city where limited of resources were not there for you, but for somebody else based on your skin tone. And you know cities like Boston doesn't have, nor will ever have it for black people, because if they did, you wouldn't be complaining for this long for the past 2 decades of no accomplishments, knowing that your city doesn't want your black ass.
That's right.
So if relocating your talent will help you solve your long-awaited problems and a chance for an opportunity of a lifetime for your success, then you got my full blessings.
Look, I'm pretty sure Ricky and Raphael, you all experienced this throughout the years when we come together individually with friends we know saying that we're going to be rich or the money is going to come someday.
Whatever.
Well, that someday can turn into no days, no time soon.
Right.
Because I know for a fact, and y'all know this because y'all, Ricky, Raphael, and Stefan witnessed this. There are some of our own black people, African Americans, are trying to destroy us with these broken promises that they was going to uplift us. Now, I'm not saying all black people are like that,
right,
but you got some out there that are willing to cut their own throats just to destroy you.
This
is why I'm skeptical about this black people need to come together crap. Because you don't know who to trust these days in order for us to come together.
Absolutely. And I also wouldn't generalize all black people as they are all good for us. Hell no.
Right. Lesson learned. Thanks, Ricky. Shout outs to iPower2 on our YouTube channel. Keyword iPower1 Nation. Thank you for listening to us. iPower 98.9 is now New York City. New York City. Subscribe now to our YouTube channel. Keyword iPower1 Nation. Listen to our shows weeknights now in the tri-state area. Take us anywhere. Listen online or on app. Listen on your Android phone, iPhone, or iPad. Listen now in the NYC. Go to iPower1FM.com for 98.9.